son of a bitch.
Hit you with the drop kick, Marty Jannetty. No, I hit you with the drop kick, Marty Jannetty. No, I hit you with the drop kick, Marty Jannetty. No, I hit you with that drop kick, Marty Jannetty.
Let me do this again.
Oh, it's live, pal.
Ladies and gents, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome into the latest edition of Hot Tag Wrestle Corner. I'm one half of your host. I am Rob.
I'm Clint.
And man, have we had a little bit of a hiatus here on the show. There's been a lot going on since we last been here. We've had a pay-per-view for both WWE and AEW, and at the same time, one of us got to see live. We'll talk about that. There's been some news, not too much news going on this week. So this week's show, we're going to talk about both of the pay-per-views. That's what this week's shows. Instead of backtracking a couple weeks we had missed, we'll go home and stuff. And just go from there. Normal shows this week. Also, we're caught up in the time we were gone where Darkseid finished up with his last few episodes. We're not going to backtrack and recap those, but what were the last few episodes of Darkseid? Sherry Martel, Black Saturday,
and Sandman.
Okay, so those were the last couple ones that we didn't get to touch on here on the show while we were gone. Maybe starting up a new one when they start the Who Killed WCW show that comes up this week on June 4th.
Oh, okay.
So that's on Tuesday, so we'll get to check that out. Yeah, that's gonna be my new summertime show. It's gonna be that. It's gonna be the FX show they're gonna have about the LA Clippers when Donald Sterling owned it. I think that starts like this week too, so I'm gonna check that out. And then eventually I think there's gonna be another season of UFC. And if it's not a season of UFC, maybe to do a season of Power Slap again, that'd be cool.
How much you love Power Slap?
I just like cats getting knocked the fuck out from a slap. I think it's hilarious. So let's go with that. But either way, let's get into the news and get to what's going on in the world of professional wrestling.
All right. Started off, the big news story probably have been going on all this week has been Becky Lynch is a free agent. After 10 years of with WWE, she's a free agent. Had her last match on Raw, which we do the Raw recap, our review. A lot of rumors. Essentially, the main thing, all the sources are saying that she's going to take a hiatus of some sort, which means and they're talking about you might not see her back to probably like January. Some say it might not even probably to like Survivor Series of next year if she resigns with WWE, which everybody's saying is highly likely she will. But Tony Khan is prepared to throw her to make her the highest paid female talent in all of professional wrestling. Seeing that he just shoved out top dollar for Mercedes Moné. Hey Moné. So and her track record, she should get her money if the opportunity comes. But she was supposed to take a hiatus after Mania, but with the unfortunate injury for Rhea Ripley in her shoulder, they essentially needed her back in the fold because they needed somebody they felt that could be a placeholder to transition the belt to Liv Morgan. And of course Seth is off the road too. He's recovering from knee surgery. They're not really clamoring for money right now. And she's treated like a big star among in WWE when she's there. So, but they say something like, but I'm not gonna say there's not a chance though that she can go to AEW. It can happen. It's highly unlikely, but it can happen.
I don't see it. AEW's bloated right now. They need to chill out with their roster, if anything.
And she deserves it though. Like she's been she's been on all the shows, bangers after bangers all year. Back on NXT. Unfortunately, her rub against some influence on Live Valkyria. We'll get to that. But take time off, you deserve it. You'll go spend time with your kid. That's one of the main things you want. I think I said a couple shows, I said that like the time for all of them is starting to kind of wind down. Like they kind of want to transition. She's a mom. She's going to transition. Charlotte, I think she wanted to go more into stuff outside. Like she's doing a horror movie. I think eventually she's going to transition out away from wrestling. She's married to Andrade, so maybe they might want to, she want to have kids, so maybe that might go along that way. Bailey is kind of like in the same position right now. Like she's more like a mentor, like what's her name, and Mercedes Monet's over there in AEW. But I think Mercedes Monet, I think she's the youngest out of all of them. If I'm not mistaken, right? I think she's the youngest out of all of them. All of them? Okay, I think she's the youngest out of all of them, but they all want to transition away from that. So outside of that, some other people that are free agents. Natalia is an upcoming free agent. They said her decision will probably mainly dictate on what goes on with her husband, which is who her husband is. Tyson Kidd, I want to say was his name, is a producer for WWE, but I think somebody of Natalia's gifts is that she could put on banger match with everybody. If I probably would want her to leave so she can go and go to some of these other spots like Lucha Libre and the AEW and what's one CMLL, Japan. Like her skill set and her career as a wrestler, I feel like she should wrestle like all over the world and put on banger matches with people because that's what Natalia can do. Chad Gable contract is coming up, which I kind of caught me off guard. I think they say his contract expires like next Friday. I want to say they're working extensively with them, but he's somebody that's going to be highly interested if he don't get re-signed. They said MMA promotion interested in him. I don't think he ever did MMA. I may be wrong, but got MMA promotions after you though. That means something. I want to say then of course Ricochet contract is up in this summer. He was one of the people that took a big money deal when AEW first started, so that, which what I call Vince overpaid people basically to keep them to stay. But Will Ospreay, which I agree with Will Ospreay, is claiming for Ricochet to leave, and Ricochet should leave, bro. He's been done a disservice since he's been up there. Like,
all right,
and Ospreay said he want to run that match back that they had. What's up?
All right, so I didn't know that was her husband's name. Anyway,
I say his name.
Yeah, his name was Sarath.
Yeah, she
That's that makes her gear.
She just make her gear. Yeah.
I didn't know his name was Sarath. Anyway,
I think he was an indie wrestler for a while too. I think, if I'm not mistaken.
You're right. Mercedes Monet is the youngest. January 26, 92. She is 32 years old.
Same age as my brother.
It's ironic. Bailey is 34. June 15th, 89. Charlotte's the oldest.
I figured that.
April 5th, 86. She's 38, which means one of those manias she's won like the last 5 years is probably like on her birthday. So they're all at the beginning of April, so that's interesting. Also, did you know Mania next year, not only is it on 420, apparently it's on Easter. So, there you go. And we have the open invite. My sister-in-law is like, April? Like, that's too long. I'm like, well, we're going to try to come back before then. I'm saying that's the plan is maybe. She's like, well, let us know. You guys, you got a place to stay if you do, so... If we had to make it, we got a place to stay. So, then your girl Becky Lynch, whose birthday is 4 days after Sasha Banks, is on January 30th. Is 37.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it makes sense that they want to transition away.
Yeah, almost get to your 40s. I mean, how many women wrestle in their 40s? Yeah. Very few. You get more of the Asian wrestlers that do that than the men, if anything.
Yeah.
Continuing with your news story, though.
Speaking of, not Asian, but Japan. Julia!
And she's part
Asian.
Yeah. She's like part Japanese, she's like part Italian, and she's like part English.
Which I am, y'all know, I am a Becky Lynch, Julia. No. Julia, then Becky Lynch. Julia just got my, like, hey, I'm I follow Becky since she like in like little, but Julia like took that spot, bro. Like I am not missing the Julia match. Unfortunately, she had to undergo surgery for her wrist. They said the injury was more worse than they thought it was. They said WWE is the one that wanted her to get the surgery for the wrist. They said they're comfortable with her remaining in Japan to heal. They ain't gonna interfere with no outside show that she has scheduled. Apparently she had that put in her contract. Contract is up in the air. It depends on how the wrist healed, you know, how the bone fracture healed and everything like that. But her plan was for her to make her inaugural NXT appearance, but she has to before she make her permanent move, but they saying visas, they gotta get visas stuff, but that's not gonna be an issue with her because she performed in the US before. I forgot which TNA event it was. I think it was the Fatal 4-Way match. I think she did. Their hope is still to do Julia versus Roxanne Perez at the Toronto event for NXT. If so, they can make her she can make her debut at Heat Wave. They basically, her first match basically is going to be a storyline with Roxanne Perez for the title. And also too that they said she be getting rave reviews about her leader as her role in Margot as like a leader. She been training with all the young wrestlers and training with them. You know, she's still in the sling. So that's it on the Julia front. Then I want some of the Mother Storm women that signed with Margot to come over. I want Hashishisa to come over. I need her to come over.
I was about to say that
I need her and I need her and Sky match.
The woman that beat her for the NJPW Strong title, she'll be at Forbidden Door against Mercedes Moné. We'll talk about that more on Dynamite Review.
So that's the update on the Julia front. Couple more news stories. I'll say probably the funny ones for last. Nope. That's not the news story. Get rid of that one. Jordan Grace. Of course, spoiler alert. She was on NXT this week and her debut was extremely quiet. The deal was made to bring her to NXT was made 3 weeks ago. It was so quiet that 99% of TNA, the wrestling staff, was unaware it happened until she showed up on NXT. NXT. Then on top of that, Impact had to adjust the editing of the episode to include a video recap of her going to NXT, which they did Thursday. They showed her what's the name on NXT. Now, I'm gonna give you 3 guesses. Jordan, on the NXT internal run sheet, she wasn't the one that was supposed to have a confrontation with Roxanne Perez. I'm gonna give you 3 guesses on who you think that superstar is supposed to be.
Jordan Grace, right?
No, she on the original NXT internal run sheet. It wasn't Jordan Grace.
And it was gonna be somebody else from TNA.
There was gonna be another superstar. Wasn't gonna be from TNA.
Julia?
Nope. I can see why you say Julia. See that she's the one that no, it wasn't gonna be Julia. Who they said they'd probably give her like an Oscar-like run when she
The Bow.
Don't say that shit. Fuck wrong with you? Excuse my language. No, it's not. No, it's not. Not Natalia Neidhart. Okay.
That's my last guess. I don't know, Dakota Kai.
Little Miss Alexa Bliss.
And she just became champ on the main roster.
Alexa Bliss was the person they had.
Oh, sorry. I'm thinking of Liv Morgan. Okay.
Yeah, Alexa Bliss was who they, and the original internal sheet was who they had was to come out and challenge Roxanne Perez for the title. But Like I said, my last 2 news stories are the funny ones. So if you got any in there,
I don't have any funny ones. I will state that for the record.
You always had a funny news story. You always had something with Uncle Eric.
I decided not to because a lot of his have been so hate tense. It's like he's not really sharing good enough information for me to find it to be funny. Plus, I want to get into this week's shows. I got a lot to. I attended a damn near 6-hour pay per view, so we have a lot to cover.
We ain't gonna recover that whole 6-hour paper.
I'm not gonna. We're gonna cut the pre-show. I'm not gonna talk about that. I'm not gonna recap it. At least I'll just say one and move there.
Yeah.
Gable Steveson, since being fired from the WWE, has had a bit of a career pivot and has decided he is signed with the Buffalo Bills, per ESPN's Adam Schefter. He signed a 3-year rookie deal. He'll play in the defensive line. Yeah, he has a quote. Excuse me, I've been fortunate to compete at the highest level of competition in my sport, but I am looking forward to a challenge of seeing how my wrestling skills may translate to football. I am grateful to Coach Sean McDermott, General Manager Brandon Beane of the Buffalo Bills organization, to giving me this opportunity. If hypothetically Stevenson were to win a Super Bowl, he'd be only the second athlete to win an Olympic gold medal in a Super Bowl ring. First was Bullet Bob Hayes, former receiver for the Dallas Cowboys. Stevenson was released by the WWE earlier this month.
So you're taking the Brock Lesnar route?
If you mean make the final cut,
or
get cut during the final cut, I should
rookie deal, so I'm assuming he's going to make it probably. I mean, that was a rookie deal, though, so it's probably not.
This just means that if you do happen to make it and all of a sudden you like overplay that contract, they ain't got to go back and up it for your ass because you outplayed the contract. You can go kick coverage all you fucking want to. You still getting this bare minimum. That's all that means. That's if he make the roster. So right now, yes, he is on Brock Lesnar status because Brock Lesnar got cut on the final cuts.
Yeah.
Saying they ain't even reached the cuts yet. Let's see if he gets through preseason. More details on TNA staff member departures. I didn't bring this up with you off the show. I just found it, thought it was interesting, so I brought it up. A new report has been additional information on TNA staff member departures that took place on Thursday. Five Select reports that in addition to previously reported David Shahadi and R.D. Evans, Lou D'Angeli had exited. The reports were that Sahadi, I should say, excuse me, will be replaced by D'Angelo, who was the VP of marketing for Anthem Sports Group and was like Sahadi, and the third person who is known to the wrestling community. I don't know, I said known, but all right. Were due to Anthem wanting to go in a different direction and be more effective in terms of live event marketing. Excuse me. As previously reported, Evans exited on his own choice. FIFA noted that the email was sent thanking Evans for his work at the company and giving his notice. I'm not even worried about the original notices. I just read you the revival. Noting the abandoned creative plan for Ricky Starks in AEW. Ricky Starks has not been seen on television recently since March. Injury scare that happened in the match of Top Flight. He had later said that he was okay and said that he was not injured and doesn't know why he's not on television right now. Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that there were plans at one point to bring Starks back to TV and turn him babyface. The story would have been for Big Bill to turn on Starks, starting a feud with those two. Instead, the team split off screen, and Bill is now working with Chris Jericho as part of the learning tree. It was reportedly Stark's decision to not move forward with the babyface turn. I could totally understand that, and here's why.
I thought Sterling got broken because he got hurt.
This would be almost the third time he's done that since he's been in the company. Why do that again? You did that with Hobbs.
Yeah, the whole baby. I don't like Ricky Starks as a babyface.
Not to mention
he should be always heel.
Not to mention, I swear,
like Charlotte Flair.
It made me feel like it was somebody else he did it with. So doing it with Big Bill would have been for the third time.
Was it with? No, it wasn't with Bryan Danielson. I don't think when he first started.
Maybe I'm wrong, but he right.
Was it with MJF? It was with MJF when he went babyface when they feud for the title.
But
When he got the title match.
They already did it. Is my point.
No, I get your point. I'm saying you said it was one other time. That was the other time he did it. Was with
do something.
MJF.
Starks. That's kind of whack.
Yeah, I feel you on that one.
Gotta book better. Young Bucks have released a new shoe and reportedly it's sold out. Young Bucks got their own exclusive shoe with Reebok. They basically revived the Reebok Pump brand. It used to be represented by D. Brown of the Boston Celtics back in the early 90s. Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that champs and Reeboks were said to be thrilled with the sales. Reebok in particular noted that they hadn't had secret sales this much in one day in years. They reportedly have sold out and they are apparent success. First day sales were 2,600 shoes at $130 plus tax. It was a limited edition shoe, which is under 3,000. They were all basically foam, FONE, whatever that means. It's possible that the orders are canceled and they may not be, maybe a few available. They will also be gone soon due to success. There have been conversations about a new project next year, so maybe another shoe or something. And then my final story.
Good. I don't know people have rocking Reeboks. So.
And then my final story is on MJF's return to AEW TV. So basically, to sum this one up quickly, because it's a couple paragraphs, so I can get through it quickly. But it's been in the works for him to come back at Double or Nothing for months. He never did get surgery. He just, rehabbed on his own to take care of his injuries. Part of the problems he wanted to discuss, which he talked about in the promo, which we'll get to when we discuss the pay. He didn't like. I ain't gonna say he didn't like his booking at the end of the year, but he could feel what some other people were feeling if they weren't feeling the storyline with him and Adam Cole anymore. Then the whole thing with the Devil's Mask and such, you know what I'm saying? But, taking a couple of months off had been good for him. He said to keep it a surprise, he didn't fly into Las Vegas and have to walk through the airport. Or I may have seen MJF just like I saw Papa Maji, Daddy Magic, our favorite Coke man when he was in JS. Instead they drove him in so that way he can also avoid being like seen on the strip or something, and they can hide him better to make him more surprise for the show. So that's basically the details on his return. Also, in case you didn't know, he resigned. So there is no more bidding war for 2024.
Was there really ever a bidding war though?
Honestly, no. Because I think this deal has been signed for
I do too. I think that was more storyline.
I think it's well over a year, and there's rumors that he's making millions. It puts him like top 5 paid in the company.
He deservedly so. He's young too. He ain't even like 27 yet. I think he's young.
And he got a tat that represents it on the back of his leg that he debuted at the paper. So we'll talk about all that when we get there. But that was my last news story.
Okay, a couple more. First one, so according to Missy Hyatt, Jim Ross is a stud. Good old JR. My God. So she was on the Cafe de Renee podcast for an interview where she revealed she dated Jim Ross a few years after his wife passed away. Because y'all remember his wife,
Can I ask, how did this come up in reference to the conversation they were having at all?
I don't know.
Why was it so necessary to kiss and tell is my question. Like,
I don't know.
Go ahead, though. My bad.
I don't know. Your answers, my answer is just the same as yours when it comes to those questions. Of course, she passed away after a brain injury after she suffered on a car accident in her hometown. Jan Ross, JR's wife.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about Missy. Rest in peace to JR's wife. We knew that story already. But I thought you were talking about Missy. I'm like, when did that? Okay, my bad.
She said, honestly, me and Jim dated for a couple years. After 2 years, about 2 years after his wife passed. So, yeah, I rocked his world and he rocked mine. Why? Again?
All I can say is congrats, because my man's 72.
My God.
If he's still beating up the boxing sport, as far as she says. And then props to him. That's that blue.
Say, my God.
That's that blue chew
with the Deustrosity thing.
That's that blue chew right there working for him.
Final news story. I guess he had some beef with Sebastian Botch and Chris Jericho.
Okay.
Well, apparently this beef came back starting to 2020. So he basically was sat down with Paul Travers, a Metal Hammer, and he was asked, will he ever do a sing-off with the Learning Tree? He said the best question would be, will he do a wrestle-off with him? Basically saying, will he do a wrestle-off with Sebastian Bach? Because I am as much as a wrestler as he is a singer. As a singer. So apparently they had a back and forth in 2020 where he accused Jericho of lip singing his song and claimed that he never seen a video of him actually performing live, which Jericho responded to. And he said, I've seen the derogatory comments towards me from somebody I consider to be a friend. So with that in mind, I'd be happy to have a sing-off. No effects, no tuning, no bullshit. Bobby's a great singer, but I'm better. You got my number. Dude, call me. He responded back saying, I texted you 3 times to no response. I'll sing your face anytime you want. Anytime you want. So I don't know. Like, I guess he said Jericho lip sings and he don't listen to his own song. But he's so mad about it, bro. Like, he's hurt. He think that your feelings hurt, man.
Apparently so, because I mean,
Man.
he out here getting it, and Sebastian Bach ain't. I'm assuming
Man.
it reeks of jealousy. Because it's like, it sounds like a hater. Like no matter if he was,
I don't know
I don't
nothing
think
about.
he
I
is.
don't know nothing about.
I don't think
about
he
the
is
guy.
lip syncing. But even if he was, the fuck that got to do with you? What you doing?
I guess
'Cause
they was
that makes it worse, because if he is lip syncing, his music seems to be hitting right now. While you claim you can sing great, and you ain't had a fucking hit in years.
I don't know nothing about the dude. I guess he took more of the fact that like he's saying that he lip sings his song. So don't say he's a better singer than me when I actually sing my shit. I think is what he's trying to say.
All right,
But I don't know.
all right.
Like, I don't really follow rock music at all like that. Like, the only reason I know about Fozzy was because of Judas. That's it. Like, no offense. No offense. It's just not my palate when it comes to music, though. So,
All right. That's it on your news?
yeah, that was it on the news.
All right, man. Let's get into this week's show, since we don't have any dark sides or anything to recap this week, and no Mount Rushmore for the week. Got a couple Shivani moments of the week that'll be coming up.
Yeah, let's run through these real quick. Let's start with the King and the Queen of the Ring results. I'm gonna go through them real quick. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. This is the kickoff match. Defeated Cancer Ray and Indy Hartwell. Well, you had a scary spot in the match where Hartwell had Cargill suspended on the ropes and LeRae attempted a moonsault, but she almost dang near pulled the shots and like almost cracked her head when she did it. But she didn't. She was okay. They attacked her knee, DDT, Ocean Cyclone Suplex on LeRae won it. One thing I liked about this match was that like they were actually like doing tag team moves a lot. Which like I feel like if you're a tag team, you should do tag team moves a lot. A lot. Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan. Get to the end of this match, basically. Becky goes and took Becky for an armbar. Morgan counters into a Rings of Saturn. Dominic Mysterio made his way to distract Lynch, which allowed Morgan to counter manhandle slam. He tried to throw a chair. Becky didn't want to use it. Liv DDT Becky onto the chair. When our ref was distracted, hit Oblivion, wins the title. Sami Zayn versus Chad Gable or Bronson Reed for the Intercontinental Championship. Basically, the end of this match was basically the storyline of this match was will Otis help Gable. Otis at the end, get to the end, he basically refused to help Gable. Gable started berating him like he's been doing all week. He gave him a shove and a slap. Gable held Zayn up. Owen tried to deliver the clothesline, but Zayn ducked and he clotheslined Gable. Gable down. Zayn hits a haluva kick on Reed. Won the match. Fast-paced match that kept moving. Queen of the Ring found was Lyra Valkyrie versus Nia Jax. Nia Jax got the win here. You kind of figured she's going to get the win here. Valkyrie looked good in this match. Nia Jax ain't hurt nobody. That's a win.
That's good. That's a win in itself.
Yes, it is. King of the Ring finals, Gunther versus Randy Orton. This was a great match between these two. Controversy this match was screwy when I guess Orton's shoulder was up throughout the pin, but I guess his shoulder was actually supposed to be down though, so I don't know. It was like a miscommunication or something like that happened. But Gunther's your King of the Ring, and we called it. We said if Gunther's going to lose that Intercontinental Championship, his next step is to be toward the world title picture. Right. And he gets his shot at SummerSlam along with Nia Jax. That's when they both get their shots to get him at SummerSlam. Cody Rhodes versus Logan Paul for the Undisputed WWE Championship after Logan Paul suckered his way into just making it be Cody's title to get defended. Highlights by this match, Logan Paul hits a frog splash through the table while Cody's on there, so he ain't miss. Back and forth, Paul gets the brass knucks out. I guess the ring announcer, the Saudi guest announcer, I don't know who he was. I guess he's like a comedian or something. Grab Paul's foot. Rhodes blocks the knucks. Hits the crossroads for the win. Match was good. Rhodes showed what he can do. Logan Paul getting better and better, but this match wasn't better than the previous match. So, like, if I had to pick, I felt the Gunther or match shot should have been the main event. But this was a good match, too, though. So, that's the end of the King and Queen of the Ring.
All right. Well, let's get... I'm glad I get to talk about this one with you because... so we talked about it earlier in the show. I got to go to Las Vegas this past weekend because I had a weekend vacation from my job, and I decided to spend it that weekend getting a little bit of R&R, recharge the battery out there in Sin City, and go see my oldest bro and everything like that. So while seeing this, I've come to find that this is a very divisive pay-per-view for people. One, outside of the length of the pay-per-view, which you're gonna get, which then that's divisive. At home, this is how I look at it when you're at home. So you have the option to split it. You don't have to watch it straight.
And that's what I said I do?
Yeah, you have the option. So I don't understand.
I treat them things like mania. I got to watch half the day and half the next day.
Now, if you're there, you're of two mindsets.
You can't complain.
But you're of two mindsets, though. This is how I look at it. One, you're either the mindset like, damn, I don't even really here for a couple matches, so now I got everything else I got to sit through. Or you're in the mindset, I don't get wrestling live in front of me of this caliber every day. So if I had to pay my $60, you're damn right I'm sitting here for 6 hours and I'm going to enjoy every minute of it, and it's a deal because I just paid $10 an hour for some great wrestling, or top tier wrestling at least. You know what I'm saying? So it's it's two different ways you could look at it, because I didn't hear anybody at this show complaining that it was that length. But then again, I was also sitting next to a dad who is not really a wrestling fan. He was just there because his son's a wrestling fan, and his son was a little boy. His son was like 17 or 18. But like, it was to the point in the middle of the show, he was asking me like how much longer? I'm like, oh, it's at least 3 matches left. He's like, I'll be back. And he like went to the casino, like he went like smoked and shit, and then I came back, you know what I'm saying? Some people can't,
but had to watch his son.
But he don't watch wrestling.
But he don't watch.
I didn't have to watch his son. No, I'm just saying his son was an adult. He could, basically. Yeah. As I said, he was like 17 or 18. He could watch himself. But I'm just saying, his father's not really a wrestling fan.
So that's understandable.
He didn't expect the length. You know what I'm saying? So I can see there might have been some other parents that were saying they're on the same thing, kind of also. So that in itself was part of the debate. Then also the show itself, I can see there were some matches on here that absolutely could have been on a Dynamite or a Rampage or a Collision, and I can name a couple. Almost every match could have shaved 5 minutes off of each other to shorten the length of the show, and there's even a couple I could even gave 5 minutes more to be honest with you. But at the same time, all in all, I think it was a great show at the end of the day, and we're about to get into it right now. AEW Double or Nothing, their 5-year anniversary show. Also, quick on the pre-show. Number one, I'll get into the Marlon Hart thing after I talk about the 2 matches on the pre-show, because there's only 2 matches. They open with Thunder Rosa taking on Deonna Purrazzo, with Deonna Purrazzo pulling out the victory grabbing the ropes as she got the roll up. So she cheated, but she got the victory. So she goes over in the feud. At the end of the show, we were leaving and coming back out, and we saw Thunder Rosa coming back through. Ironically, and she looked pissed off. But then again, I think she was in character because then I saw pictures of her afterwards at a party celebrating Mercedes Moné because she had pictures with Mercedes Moné with her title and she was smiling.
I think Bailey was there too.
Bailey was there.
But that's her bestie though.
Yeah.
You know, they ride together.
Right, exactly. So she was, she might have been at the fucking Double or Nothing show for all we know. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see her personally, but who knows where they had her at.
I mean, she probably was.
She was at her debut in Boston a couple months ago. Remember, she was up in the rafters for that. She was they go to each other's stuff all the time.
They could have, because I remember when Ricky Stark was at Mania when Cody won. They just ain't show him.
Wasn't
Stark was in like a
wasn't Naomi in them there too? Oh wait, Naomi was in it. My bad. Sorry. There was a show. No, Rumble is what I'm thinking of. Remember, Rumble had Monet, Naomi, and like, was it Nia Jax or somebody else? They were all in disguise to watch Bailey win. Tamina, to watch Bailey win. So, like, yeah, like, they go both ways. They just that good of friends. So, props to them for that. Aside from that, sorry. The other show that was on the pre-show, other match that was on the pre-show. Hold on, I gotta remember off the top of my head. Real quick, let me run mine back. I got it here in my notes, but I was way further down because I really just talked about skipping passes. Okay, sorry. The Cage of Agony, no longer the Gates of Agony. Now that they've been kicked out of the grouping with Swerve and Prince Nana, now they're just the Gates of Agony. Or sorry, the Cage of Agony versus the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn.
So just ended the Brian Cage, basically.
This didn't need to be on the pre-show to me either. Honestly, you could have slid this off the card, period, and slid one of the shows that made the main card down to this. Not to shit on them, but Bang Bang Scissor Gang and the Lucha Bros, Death Triangle, you could have probably put that match in this slot and just took this completely off the card. This is not to need to be there. This was, to me, was left on here for the dangling hopes of people who were fans of the Acclaim.
Oh, with the whole scissor me, all that crap. Yeah,
the rap.
I can see.
The rap was good.
His bars been getting better. He picked his bar game back up,
and he cut a little bit of a fire promo. Though I don't agree with it at all. Talking about the best wrestler in AEW, I'm like, huh? When the fuck did that happen? He said that out of his own mouth. So I'm like, all right, cuz whatever. Anyway, so this one goes 11 minutes. Of course, the Acclaim wins basically off a small package rolled up by Billy Gunn on Bishop Khan. So next, the most important thing of anything else on the pre-show, to be honest with you, was the fact that Martha Hart came out on the stage with Renee and Tony Khan, and she basically announced that for this year's edition of the Owen, it is winners get title shots at all in London. So I'm like, okay, that's dope. That brings the stakes for that up, so that's good. Opening match of the show: Roger Strong versus Will Ospreay. This is a really good match. One bad thing I would say of the night that seemed to happen throughout, and this is one of the matches. You don't have to necessarily take 5 minutes off this match. This match was fine, absolutely fine the way it was. Great matchup between the two of the high flyer of Ospreay being snatched out of the air a lot of the times by Roderick Strong being the Messiah, the backbreaker. That was his counter.
That's a fire nickname, bro.
It is.
That's a fire nickname, bro.
As I said, you can
a backbreaker, bro.
Versus the aerial assassin. Like that's just two raw ass names.
You gotta break people's backs every time you back. You're the Messiah, the backbreaker. That's how expectations to live up to.
The only thing I said, there was one bad thing of the night that also went along the way with this was that there was a lot of distractions and moments of that.
That was about to say that would be my one nitpick about the event. It was a great event, but it's like a lot of matches had like outside interference.
This
like,
was one.
But you expected it though. This
was one. Eventually, Ospreay ended up winning this one. He had a running elbow that set up the hidden blade to give him the victory. It went 17 minutes and 57 seconds. So now he is the international champion. And he got a lot coming up on his plate. We're getting Ospreay. Ospreay's had a hell of a week. Post-match from there. Had nothing to do with any shenanigans in the match, but for obvious reasons. Adam Cole, baby, comes out for some story time. Starts to talk shit on the folks in Las Vegas, mad that he even has to be there instead of rehabbing his ankle some more. Was walking on the fine, so I think his return is pretty much imminent. By All In, I guarantee he'll probably be back.
So, man.
Sidebar, before I get into what I'm about to get into, what happens here in this short interaction basically is going to write off their interaction until down the line. So even though MJF's back, immediately when Cole comes back, don't be expecting for them to immediately feud.
Yeah.
Just don't. Who knows where they're going to be at, but I'm thinking this is basically writing it off. We're going to get into the promo of everything that happened from there anyway. But, so as Cole's talking, he's cut off by a video on the board. So it's a guy that's all this MJF accoutrement in his room. He has like a mannequin that has the Burberry scarf on it. He has the Dynamite ring on a mannequin hand on some awning in the room, and then he ends with a picture of them two, the hugging, but it's ripped in half. Goes black, comes back. He has the Triple H O2 jacket on, as you said, when he made his return. You know what I'm saying?
He had the leather jacket and the denim vest on. They're like, bro, tan as hell though. That man was my bro was orange, man. It's like, Jesus, bro, like.
Yeah, but he looked in good shape though.
He did.
He hugged.
I like too that he got the little scruff, so he looked like he been through hell since he was the name. Like Adam Cole did this much to him.
He hugged Adam Cole. Sent him to Dick Kick City. Then he proceeded to move on from there.
I'm mad that Adam Cole took that hug that easily though, bro. Like, come on, man.
Gave him a brain buster and sent him out of there and called him a noodle arm bobbleheaded son of a bitch. Basically, as he moved on from there, he said he's the greatest wrestler in the world. Hit his catchphrase. He said he doesn't need anybody from New Japan or a Vince McMahon to help him see that. MJF made MJF. Said he's done with the kangaroo kicks and the associated BS because it's time for him to bring on the hate again. He picked up the Devil's Mask, which the crowd, I guess they want him to hide. He said he's done hiding the mask. He said he's done hiding and done apologizing for the fact that he's the best. It's not his fault that all your favorites suck big bags of donkey dicks. But this mask and everything is symbolized to go straight to hell. He drops a Ric Flair elbow on the mask in the ring.
Did the Jay Leto?
Yeah. He did. He says he's all in, double or nothing as far as his contract status. He points to a tattoo on the back of his leg. It says, "Always bet on yourself." He said, "You can call me the Wolf of Wall Street because I'm not fucking leaving." Yeah, that's basically the end of the promo. So, good to have MJF back. It's gonna lead to some more great feuds. This match, as I was saying, you could have slid this in the slot where the claim match was. Not that it was a bad match. We got a good return in it, but this is another one. But the ending came down to shenanigans, as we said. But these shenanigans I like because I missed them. So anyway, so we got the Bang Bang Scissor Gang taking on Death Triangle. Hoping it continues more. So I want to see a one-on-one between Jay White and Pac, which at this point not quite sure you're gonna get. If you do, it might be the main event of a fucking Rampage coming up in the next couple weeks or some shit. I wouldn't be surprised, but anyway. So good match between them. Nice back and forth. Everybody getting off their normal shit. Gets down to the part of the match where Jay White gets kicked into a twisting Death Valley driver for two. Everything breaks down from there in 6-way knockdown. Pat goes back up for a Black Arrow again, and the Gus slide a bat in for a distraction for the ref to allow Juice Robinson to make his return out of nowhere. Push Pac off the top rope. Pac falls right down into a Blade Runner. Bang Bang Scissor Gang retains. And I liked it that after the match, Juice Robinson was doing his best Weekend at Bernie's with Jay White because he was just dead. And he's just holding him up like, that shit was funny. We got to recap real quick before we get to the next match. It's the women's title match between Toni Storm and Serena Deeb. We'll say this is a positive note for the show. I feel like each women's match got increasingly better. The first match that opened the show, even in pre-show, that match with Thunder Rosa and Deonna Purrazzo was a good match, though he ended with a roll-up and not just a straight clean pin or whatever. Still was a good match between those two. This match was better than that one with Toni Storm and Deeb. Then we get to the next match, which was part of the three-way main event. Mercedes Moné and Willow Nightingale. That match was the best women's match on the entire show for me. So we'll get there too. This one we'll talk about now, though. Toni Storm versus Serena Deeb. Deeb was supposed to be the face. Crowd wouldn't let that happen, probably because of Tony being who Tony is. The main crux of this match is, do you remember a couple of weeks ago? I think this might have happened outside of our show canon in these last couple of weeks that we had missed. But do you remember Mariah May had almost thrown the towel in on Tony? I'm sorry, Tony threw the towel on the Mariah May match?
Yeah.
So that almost came back here to roost. During the match, she was getting worked over by Deeb at one point. Mariah May was about to throw the towel in. But as she was about to do it, Luther, big ass, grabbed that bitch. And was like, no, don't do that. But as he did it, Tony saw him. He didn't see her. So she goes outside the ring, snatches it from him, and just throws it in the crowd. Like, fuck all that. We ain't doing all that. You know what I'm saying?
I thought it was Luther.
So, back from there, she gets back in the ring. She can't quite take Deeb out eventually. So, she goes, as she's trying to evade these dragon screws that has her in trouble, she hits a detox on the apron, followed by another one in the ring, but she only gets a 2 count. Storm catches her up top and hits her with a Super Storm Zero and then a Record Storm Zero to get the victory. 15 minutes, 38 seconds. Of the matches that could have went 5 less, this is also one. You ain't had to take 5 off this. You could have left it just how it was. It was a really good match. The distraction wasn't as bad with Luther and Mariah May on the outside. It didn't impact the match as much. But it added more depth to the storyline between Mariah May and her. So I do like that.
Them two eventually going to
That added more to that. So
Mariah May.
When she left, when the match was over, she was all shading Luther and just hugging up on Mariah May. And they were like rolling around in the confetti at the top of the ramp after the match. So we'll see where that goes. So far, Dynamite this week, she seems to still be shady. This next match, it wasn't a bad match. To me, it's been a bad feud. At times, it's had its highlights. For this to kind of be the blow-off, because this is how it felt. One, if the blow-off doesn't have enough steam where you feel like it's even good enough to be a match on the pay-per-view, that's something to tell you to begin with. Number 2 was the fact that, like I said, the match wasn't good enough to be on the tape. For real, this one a match you could took off completely and put on the main event of a Collision or a motherfucking Rampage. Orange Cassidy versus Trent Beretta. Trent comes out. I can't remember if it was like a new theme for him or whatever, but instead of his normal best friends thing or best friends like entrance thing, it just blocked out all of that, and it just had instead of best friends, it just said the best, and it was just him, and it blocked out the rest of the shirt. His shirt was like that. His entrance thing on the Tron was kind of like that, and the song started like just Trent like that when he came down. Orange came down. He switched it up from his normal. He switched it back to the Where's My Mind, the Pixie song, in a black t-shirt. Other than that, there wasn't really that much difference here. Don Callis was on commentary to stick up with that part of the storyline of which ones he's going to sign. They had a pretty decent match. To me, I think the other thing about this match is Trent should have won.
I agree.
Trent should have won.
I agree.
That should have been...
Trent Hill, everything he did with him taking out Chuck, with him getting the best of Orange, with Trent, this would have propelled him much more as that. Would you say Top Hill? Would you?
No.
Well, not Top Hill.
No.
Well, not Top Hill, but like.
Hell no, there's Christian Cage in this company, bro.
Forget about Christian Cage. I forget about him.
He didn't have some elevation
there,
to his solo run, though.
Yeah.
I'd have said that. So, that's part of it, too. Not hating on Orange, but he didn't need this one.
He didn't need it. He didn't need it.
He does pull the victory out, though, in this one.
This one of those, this was probably
with
one
the
of those
reverse roll up.
good.
It went 13 minutes, 55 seconds.
It was a feel good win, basically.
Like I said, this one you could have took out the card, period, for me.
He did it for his best friend.
Not hating on Orange, I'm just saying, though.
No, Orange did with
the result, too.
He got over 50 wins.
He was getting his ass kicked for most of the fucking match on top of that, too. That's the other thing that killed me about it. But, hey, all right. Moving on from here. Next match, this is another one where you didn't have to put it on the card. This is another one that could have main evented a Collision or a Rampage. Wasn't bad. I thought this was more fun than the last match for sure. To be honest with you, if I had to say my worst match on the card, it was that Orange Cassidy Trent Beretta match. There was nothing wrong with the match itself. It just didn't feel like it needed to be there with the length of that fucking card. You could have did this somewhere else, especially with the result. It didn't have the result on when it was.
Then what was
It was like the cherry on top of bad news I took out of that.
Then what was the stipulation? A pure wrestling match or something?
Yep.
Like
that was it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I was like, nah. Next match, FTW title match.
Yes, this match shouldn't have been. This should have been a main event.
Hook versus Katsuyori Shibata versus Chris Jericho. I like the match was okay. It wasn't a bad match.
Not a match you'll see on pay-per-view though.
I'm exactly. That was one thing, as I said. Then I do like that his new gimmick is that depending on the town is depending what's in the bag. So when we were in Winnipeg, we got hockey pucks. Now he was in Vegas, you get dice. This time, so that had to suck being slammed on too, I must admit.
Sure.
Another match that came down to interference though. So now this interference at least ties in with the story, so I'm down for it. So in the qualifying match to even get this FCW match, it was Hook versus Katsuyori Shibata versus Brian what's his last name?
Keith.
Yes, sorry, Brian Keith. So they had a three-way match where Hook and Shibata tapped them out both at the same time. So the ref gave both of them the match. So the winner of the match was going to advance to this match. So it let both of them advance to this match. Jericho gets in trouble at the end of this match. Out of nowhere, somebody comes in dressed in all black like the Omen. Comes in, takes him out, or takes out Shibata and Hook, allowing Jericho to get the victory. Takes his hood off. Boom, Brian Keith. Trying to get revenge for what happened before, you know. Saying, by the way, his new nickname now is the Bad Apple Brian Keith because he fell off of the learning tree. Badooch. We'll talk about more of that We'll talk about more of that on Dynamite.
I will give Chris Jericho Chris props. The names he comes up with is clever.
We'll talk about
The
more of
gimmick,
that.
his gimmick, his creative gimmick never died.
Match
His
only
wrestling
went
just
12
needs to
minutes
stop.
and 45 seconds. Felt longer. Jericho, as I said, retained.
Because it felt long, honestly, because it was Jericho.
All right, here's another match where wrong results. IWGP Heavyweight Championship Eliminator match. John Moxley versus Konosuke Chicheska.
Moxley shouldn't have went over.
We talked about this on the show weeks ago about him making his comments. Did we talk about that? About Chicheska's comments about his booking in America?
Yeah.
And when he felt like no matter how hard he does, no matter what he does, and what good praise you give him, you're not putting him over how he thinks he should be put over. This is the perfect example.
Yeah, he should have went over. Mox shouldn't have.
This is another match with a person who won. If he lost, it wouldn't affect him. He wasn't going to lose the title. This is just a way to get him to get some more run, more acclaim, get him a title shot later down the line. He didn't even have to win that. Just let him win this shit. Fuck it.
It's the again.
Especially since this is another one where he was basically dominating most of the action of the match.
It's the same thing like the orange thing. It's the feel good. What's the name? That's my guy. I'm gonna put him.
And he had one arm, and he still won.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, I don't know. That didn't make Chicheska look good coming out the back end of this. So as you can tell from the results of how I'm animating it here, Moxie wins with the Death Rider finish off Chicheska after Chicheska beat his fucking ass the whole match, basically.
Yeah, he did.
All right. So I know I've talked about a lot of down on this, so this is why I said it was kind of a controversial pay-per-view for some people. But there was a lot of good. All the good is coming up for the rest of the show. Basically, I would say it that way.
The middle was bad.
The middle was bad. You started out with a great match, and then Tony Storm in there was good.
And then
and
then you had like 3 straight duds.
This last match I was talking about, Chicheska, the Bandmates of the game wasn't bad. I like seeing Juice come back. But like, yep, exactly. Now we're getting to the meat. We're getting to the good sizzle part now. For me, at least, some people didn't like this match. I like the match. I like the participants. Some people don't like Malachi Black and all the House of Black and spooky wookie shit. Some people don't like Adam Copeland coming back and doing the Brood stuff. People haven't had a problem with Adam Copeland coming back, but I guess people only want Edge. they don't want nothing else but Edge. They can't take Brood thing, whatever. I don't know. I've heard people that liked and watched WWE back then. They love this because of the return that was made, and we'll get to it in a second. A lot of people wanted that for years. WWE could have did that years ago, and they never did. They never fully leaned into it. The other thing I like about Adam Copeland is seemingly everything in his history is totally available for them to use now. Outside of the Brood music, but like the name The Brood, the characters.
You think you got on that trademark?
You know what it is? No, it was owned by a company because the idea came from a video game about vampires. called the Vampire Chronicles, and they leased it, so it was never their property. So AEW can use it whenever they need to lean into it. That's why I say if you go,
get broken off of that, don't
but I'm saying if you go with that along with his theme music and the catchphrase of the rated R superstar, he's basically got to take all the stuff except for the name Edge. That's good for him.
It is.
Now you can keep going off of his history with shit, adding for future matches and stuff. So good for him.
He went to the Dwayne Johnson of what's the name?
Yeah. Yep. Thought about it.
Thought about that. Like, let me trademark all my shit that I can.
All right.
While I can.
All right. So we're down to the last 4 matches of the cards. We can hurry up and get through this. Okay. TNT title match: Adam Copeland versus Malachi Black. Barbed wire steel cage match. Was a pretty good match. Only thing I didn't like was that they kind of had like a barbed wire crucifix spot at one point, which was a little sacrilegious. It didn't make it sacrilegious; it felt like it was, but here nor there. Also, a scary spot where Edge basically did a big jump down to nothing, kind of like a la Randy Savage back in '96, '97 when he blew out like both his ACLs, doing the exact same thing, jumping off the top of the cage around the same age of in your early 50s. He jumped off. He basically wrapped Malachi Black on top of a table, wrapped that table around with barbed wire, climbed all the way to the top of the cage, and proceeded to jump off straight onto his feet. But somehow the table broke still, but he didn't look like he brushed it. He barely brushed the table.
I ain't trying to laugh because I don't want to laugh because it sucks. It happened to Edge. But when I seen that, it reminded me of Jim Cornette. He got put on the scaffold. He jumped off the scaffold and he just went boom. And like, oh yeah.
Well, he was instantly blew out.
Yeah, you knew instantly, like, yeah, but you knew it's like, yeah, that yeah.
So
something broke on that, like.
So from there, Edge ends up spearing him outside. They go through the cage with the spear. You get to the outside. While they're on the outside, all of a sudden, now they on the outside of the cage. You know who's coming in. The rest of the house is black. Brody King, Buddy Matthews. So when they come out, since there's been this rumor and all the stuff about maybe Malachi Black going back to WWE, there's scuttlebutt. This might be the last match.
He's not going back to WWE.
Who knows?
They said his contract is he's still gonna be around for a while on this contract. He's not going back to WWE.
Well, it's just rumors, scuttlebutt.
But the rumors, yeah, I know, yeah.
So middle of the match, it seemed like they turned on him, and they both stepped on the side of Edge like they were teaming with him, and he was looking like, wait, hold on, what are you doing? Wait. As soon as they all three stand up, they end that shit. Go ahead, Brody King goes ahead and lariats Edge, takes his ass out, throws him back in the ring. They all proceed to jump Edge. All of a sudden, lights go black. We get the original version of the original Edge music through the ring. We get Gangrel making his AEW return. Use him in a good way too, because he's an older cat too who doesn't barely walk without a limp. So instead of him having to walk down the ring to make the save, have him come through it so we can instantly start hitting his spots, hitting butts of impaler DDTs, blood mist in people's faces. Eventually, we get down. Copeland, he wins the match, basically putting on the grindhouse, I guess they call it now, and I think they called it the deal before, where we had the bar, the chair, and he puts it in your mouth with the crossface.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
I guess the official name was the grindhouse. Get that for the victory.
That's a good name.
Get that for the victory. 20 minutes. This match was 20 minutes 11 seconds. Another one he could have cut off 5 minutes, but the contents of the match were great. I thought it was a great match. Good. It was a good bloody match. That was the other thing. I thought they were very judicious with the match that had blood, because honestly, this was the bloodiest match of the card,
as it should be.
Yes, but you could, if there was blood and anarchy in the arena, I wouldn't have been surprised.
I wouldn't have been surprised
for all the shit they were doing.
That they do with nails.
Exactly.
But honestly, though, I think everyone they had, I don't think nobody ever bled.
You know what? My thing is with that, and we're gonna get into that.
And everyone, I don't think nobody ever bled enough.
We're gonna get into that in 3 matches, and now we're on to the triple main event. I don't know how they're gonna be able to top it. And they've done it year upon year upon year. I don't know how you top this year, next year. Like, what do you set a man on fire this year? What the fuck are you gonna do next year? We're gonna get there though. All right, favorite women's match on the card for me. Another one. Well, I think maybe you could have. Yeah, you could have took 5.
You could have took some time.
You could have took a little bit of time off of this. Just gave me the same results. Here's something else I want to run by you on this and give me your opinion. What do you think of Mercedes Moné's new finisher?
I got a problem with it.
What about in this match with this opponent?
not the best time.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. I've heard people say they don't like it. She shouldn't do it.
No, she should do the finisher. You say that finisher for somebody. You say it for like a Riho or
thank you.
A Riho or
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Serena Deeb or Mariah May. You don't do that with no Willow Nightingale.
Have multiple finishers. You have a bigger kick. Use your tap out finisher with her. You know what I'm saying? Something like that.
This goes back to the thing they say she sometimes be reckless and it's stuff like that. It's like pick and choose.
You put a lot of pressure on your bones.
Stuff like that.
Yeah. You know, it's another one I need her to stop doing. Stop doing that meteor off the apron. Yeah. That's about as bad as Cactus Jack doing his elbow drop off of that shit. Your knees are going to be fucked in a couple of years. I don't know. I'm thinking knee pads you can go ahead and just keep doing that shit with. I know it's a spot in your match. Pick and choose that. Save that shit for pay-per-view. Don't be doing that shit on Dynamite and shit. Save your shit.
I think it's because it was always in her moveset, even when she was back in WWE.
It's time to switch it up, mama.
That's her moveset.
For the longevity of your body, you got to switch that shit up.
So what's the one thing we always say about Sasha Banks? she's kind of injury prone.
Yeah.
And that's not a knock on her. Like it's what you do.
She's great in the ring, but she's almost going too hard is the problem.
Yeah.
Getting herself hurt.
I feel like
no, she didn't come out of this hurt.
I feel like if I'm Shotzi need to watch Sasha's early matches and learn what not to do, because Shotzi is the same way. She goes super hard, super fast. She had a spot where she did like a foreign thing after one thing, and she what's the name to have? I'm like, you ain't break nothing.
Yeah, folders.
Like, come on, like y'all, yeah. So bad. Don't do that on Willow Nightingale. Bad opponent for that finisher.
This is another one that had a little bit of interference that was involved in the match. Willow Nightingale comes out.
But I liked it.
Yeah. Willow Nightingale, Chris Statlander comes out with her along with Stokely Hathaway. Mercedes Moné getting the big WWE entertainment entrance with the multi-light drummer man that's playing her song and stuff.
She's your highest paid superstar. Well, female superstar. She deserves it.
I'm not knocking it. Just saying that was very WWE-ish. This was a great hard-hitting match between the two. Sasha Banks was working the leg and the ankle very much of Nightingale. Nightingale just trying to use her power to fight her off. Many times it did seem to work. Many times it didn't. This match, for everything that people talked about leading up to this, with they debuted too early. They don't have anything.
No, they said that she wasn't really. Honestly,
they don't have anything for her to do. She's not cleared. It was a lot of shit talking and hate. She delivered. She delivered. She gave you everything that you would want from Sasha Banks.
I'm not gonna say me Mercedes Moné.
Well, now.
Yeah, but
okay. Sorry, you're right. Correction. Let's use her correct name, Mercedes Moné.
I'm gonna say that.
But she was doing there, the level she was at there, she's still there.
She did deliver, but to me, I don't know. To me, it seems like she's not fully comfortable yet. Off the ankle?
Maybe, but I don't know. She was doing her normal shit.
I know.
If she wasn't that comfortable on the ankle, bro, she wouldn't have did that new finisher. Basically, this is how the match came down. There was an interference that was involved with Stokely Hathaway and Chris Statlander with the ref at the end. Eventually, it didn't matter. Willow Nightingale got caught in the top rope. Sasha does the move, which is basically, I forgot who else did that move, so I can't remember what to call it, but gets her on her back, flips her over. Hold on 1 second. I actually use the name of the move. Moneymaker. She hits the Moneymaker off the top rope, which I get that helps because Willow's bigger than her, so it gives her the leverage to do it. It just doesn't look as good with a bigger opponent. So just pick and choose your spots, mama. There's some people saying, I don't like you. No. I'm not saying that. That's a good finisher. It'll work with a Sky Blue like on Dynamite this week. Don't do that with Willow, mama. Do the
you can do it with a Chris Statlander.
Do the bank statement. That's the name of it. Well, that's what the name of the submission used to be. Do the bank statement.
She got so many.
Exactly. The double knee thing.
Flash. You can enter
the double knee thing off the top rope. Do that.
The Meteor.
Yeah, the Meteor. You can do that. Just quit doing it. Just quit doing it off the apron to the floor, please. Don't quit fucking up your knees. I don't like seeing that. Don't do that no more. Or at least pick and choose your spots with it. Shit. Anyway, but she ends up winning. It was a short reign for Willow. Willow puts her over. One thing that I do take out of this is something else I love from this match. She's the top face in the company. She's the top woman's face in the company.
Yes. Willow, yes,
she puts over Mercedes, and she was already a big ass baby face going into that moment. And then for the next moment that happened for her after this.
Before you get to that, well, I thought she's cutting on promos. Like I watched a little bit. She cut a promo on Collision. And I'm looking like, you're trying so hard to come off as a badass, but it's not you though. Like, and I'm not saying like.
I think she comes off as a super strong baby.
Yeah,
and at that,
like,
she doesn't even cross the line because she doesn't like when somebody else is repping her and swear.
I put it like this.
Like when Stokely would cut, she would check him about it. Or something. Like, you know, she's that much of a baby face.
It was like her promo Collision to me felt like somebody pulled her punk card and she was trying to like act like she was hard, but like we know you're not hard though. But it's okay. That's you. That's Willow though. That's her whole character.
But
like,
okay. But then let me see. What do you think about the promo she cut on her in the Go Home when she put her through the table though? I thought that was good. It was hard hitting, impactful, and babyface because she said last time we met, I walked out as New Japan Strong Women's Champion, and if I remember correctly, you ain't walk out at all. As I was like, okay, Willow. I was like, okay, Willow. And then to put her through the table too, though. But that was writing on the wall for me because we know wrestling. But hey, I thought she had a good shine moment there. She looked good. She cut the most cutting moment of the promo and put her through the table, so she stood tall. Though we knew that meant she was gonna lose, but still, I thought she looked good in that moment. But then after the match, they finally turned on her. Chris Statlander trying to help her up the ramp. They put Stokely away at first, and then she just walking her up. So they turned around, whack, hit her with a short arm clothesline area.
Eventually, she's going to turn.
Jumped her on the ramp.
I'm not mad. I think we think I don't know what she was wearing. Like she was like wearing just like what's the
jumped her on the ramp, does the arm thing like this. Stokely puts his face on her bicep in it, and they walk off. So they've plotted this together. You know what I'm saying? So
it was a matter.
But now coming out of this, I know there's Tony Storm and all, but sympathetically, Willow's the biggest women's baby face
she is right now. She is, and that just solidified it. That basically solidified it.
Good for her. Coming out of that, then we get your world title match, second to last match of the card. AEW world title match: Swerve Strickland versus Christian Cage.
Yo,
if you look into my eyes, shitty ass song. Anyway, so
I hate on that thing.
Christian, this match was a slow burn. That ended on a great note, but another one that came down to interference. But
not surprised.
This is one of the matches where this was in the commentary was in their bag for this one for me. So a couple of weeks ago we had missed this one as Jack Perry made his first night officially in the Elite on Dynamite. Was sitting at commentary for a Young Bucks match. Got pissed off at something that Tony Schiavone had said, questioning him. Took a whole can of woo and proceeded to pour it on Tony's head. And Tony had to sit there for the whole show. And they're like, somebody get Tony a towel. And then they like go to break and they come back. And Excalibur's like, you know, Tony, I have to give you props. Sit there for the entire show, covered in woo. It was funny. And then sidebar, the best part of it, on a personal note for Tony Schiavone, is that the woo, the base, like, infused thing of it is mushrooms. He fucking hates mushrooms.
Oh, God, no.
He fucking hates mushrooms. So it makes it even worse for him. So that sucks. But
hey, it's okay, Tony.
So in this match in particular, the crowd was loving it and shit. They're like, oh man, and they proceeded to show Mother Wayne. And it's like, oh, what a crowd, what a show, what a bitch. I thought that was great. So their interference was throughout the match. Eventually, all three of them got tossed, and that's when the match I thought they got to another gear.
They got too greedy with their interference.
Exactly. The whole crowd got on Mother Wayne's ass at one point. She came out looking like a fucking disco ball in her outfit. She was so shiny. Boo me, a mother. And then she eventually got tossed. Eventually, the interference did come back again because Nick Wayne came out and hit Wayne's World while Swerve was on the outside, like over the steps or onto the steps. There was a great spot where he ended up getting ran off though by Prince Nana, ran out with a pipe and then ran him through the crowd. So there was a great spot where Swerve went through, like, he got ran into the corner and then tried to go through like a spear on Christian through the ropes off the same spot where those steps were. He hit his damn head or slapped that bitch to make it animate his head hit them steps so damn hard. I thought he really did at first. I was like, wow. I'm surprised you're not busting open right now. It was horrible. Eventually, Swerve does overcome all the shenanigans, bullshit, retains his title in his first title of defense. Winning this one, this match ended up going 24 minutes and 45 seconds. Once again, cut out chicanery, cut out a good 5 minutes from this match. It was a great match, but those are only my two gripes I'll take from it. There's a little bit of too much, excuse me, outside interference shit to take 5 minutes off it. Great match, he retains. Then we get your main event. And as Justin Roberts said, welcome to the shit show. This is the Elite versus Team AEW. This match was... What did you think of it? You thought it was good?
When I see these Reign of Anarchy matches, I don't look for good. I just look for shit.
I look for this.
I just look for shit. I just look for shit that go.
I put this shit on the same level of like Stadium Stampede. It's supposed to be funny. You're getting a little bit of everything, but you're also going to have good action with wrestlers you like.
Yeah,
basically.
One of the funny things.
They basically started brawling with each other. There weren't too many entrances. They tried to make some, but eventually started just fighting with each other from the start, all over the arena. Where I was at in the arena, they had got my section ready with security in case they came up there, but they didn't. They got close, but not very far. I felt like of all the people, the participants in this match, everybody went super hard except for Okada. And it's not that he didn't go hard. I don't think he's really used to doing like this type of match. So I felt like he was just gingerly having fun with his friends. Like, hey.
He looked uncomfortable.
He didn't go super hard with it. He would just go a little lighter. Like, okay, that's good. Okay. He looked a little uncomfortable.
Yeah. It's okay. It's okay.
That's okay. I like Okada outside.
I like his character.
He's been awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is a great match. They started playing I think they played Jack Perry. No, it wasn't Jack Perry's theme. It was the Young Bucks theme. They started playing that at the beginning of the show. Beginning of the match. And they played that for a minute. Eventually, Bryan Danielson gets on the mic and says, "Turn that shit off and play the greatest theme music in the history of wrestling." So then they start playing the final countdown. They played the whole song and it started it again. All of a sudden, Matt Jackson gets back on the mic and was like, wait, hold on, wait. Y'all gotta turn that shit off. That's just costing us way too much. It's like $200,000 every time we gotta fucking play that. We have a budget now. That was another part where Tony was in his bag on the commentary. As soon as he said that, he was like, what? When the hell did that happen? Yeah, that was great. So, of everything that happened in this match, I'm not going to do it in simultaneous order. I'll just name the things that happened because there was so much. All right, eventually there was some part where, and it made sense because it led to it later, Darby and Jack Perry were brawling backstage. Darby tried to like drown him in his mini tub. There was a reason for the water. You'll get into that in a second. From there, a few minutes later, as they're brawling by some boxes, Jack Perry gets in his scapegoat mini bus and almost hits Darby. So this means twice now been
hit by a bus
in the last couple of months. Talk about a pin cushion, because he also had a broken nose going into this match, which he came out with tacks on his face mask to start headbutting cats with. You had a sleeve because you go kind of filled with tacks, so he could hit a tack filled rainmaker on cats eventually. You had the Young Bucks debut their new Reebok pumps with tacks on those. At
well,
one point,
them having tacks on shoes. Then they have a match against.
Yeah, they did. They had Lucha Brothers back in the day. Yeah. At one point in time,
the Dior's.
Yeah, that was the Dior's thing. At one point in time, they got a rope from the ceiling, strung up Darby Allin, hung him up to the ceiling, and then they super kicked him with those same tack shoes on. He hung there for so long, the crowd began to chant, "Please save Darby!" That shit was funny as fuck. Please save Darby! He was hanging for a minute. That happened. Eventually, after coming back from backstage, Jack Perry sees Tony Khan. He's like, "Oh yeah, bring your ass." So he brings Tony. So we talked about how Tony took the punch from Jack Perry a couple weeks ago.
Oh Lord, was it worse?
It wasn't worse, but it was almost on the same level. Because the way
he like rolled off the stage when he got sent out there because they didn't end up beating him up. He ended up rolling away. But it was just funny the way he rolled away. I was like, what the hell, dog? Like, they got to start getting you involved with the action. So he brings him out before he could do anything. He gets set on fucking fire. Set on fire. Now, the Bucks were instantly there, and they put him out. And he was on the ramp for a good 5-10 minutes down, and they put the towels on him to make sure he was cool. But he still ties into the eventual ending of the match. Everybody brought all over the arena. We get back in. I think I've told you all the shit that happened. There was so much. Eventually, they take out Danielson on the casino chip with the TK driver, so he's out of there. Eventually, get back down to the ring. Well, actually, he makes his way back down. He was out for a while. Eventually, he makes his way back down. He ends up taking the pin from Jack Perry. Jack Perry, I guess, hits a knee on him to take him out. And the Elite win. The Elite go over, and that was a nuts anarchy arena with 29 minutes, 55 seconds. So it was almost a 30-minute match.
It went 5 minutes longer than a championship match.
That's what I was saying. Like, you could cut 5 minutes off of that, too. But it was still a great match. You know what I'm saying? I can't hate on it. It was fucking fun. Oh, Jack Perry hit a running knee and dance. So basically, he did the dance's own move on him to get the victory. And that was the end of Double or Nothing. Crazy ass show. I had great fun with it, though. It was definitely entertaining. A little too damn long. We said our piece here. I don't have to repeat. Let's get into this week's shows. We can get out of here.
Start off with Monday Night Raw. Start off with Ludwig Kaiser is here to introduce Gunter, who carries the crown. He basically first we want Randy chance. What's his name? Go back to the controversy with Order the Arm being up. He said he's ready to challenge for the World Heavyweight title at SummerSlam. He elevated the Intercontinental Champion. He's gonna do it again with King of the Ring. Judgment Day comes out. Then Priest basically said you ain't won nothing because Orange shoulder was up. Then McIntyre comes out. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I hit the wrong button. McIntyre comes out and basically said Judgment Day been screwing up left and right ever since Rhea Ripley been hurt. He said, well, I'm gonna give you a quick geography lesson because they don't teach that here in America. He said, this is where Scotland's at. He said, you may call me a psycho and the Terminator, but in Scotland they call me Drew. Then he talk about his sake to see if he can get on McIntyre's skin. Braun Strowman comes out here for his match against JD, and this whole thing with Braun and JD just goes on to like the course of the night. It leads and it plays a role in your main event. Which leads to this match. Get to the end here where Strowman basically started doing his fright train move. He started running around. Battle off to distraction. Carlito coming for a cheap shot. That don't work. Strowman gets the power slam and a win at 9 minutes and 30 seconds. Second, this was a match that was too goddamn long. This match shouldn't have been no damn 9 minutes and 30 seconds. It's one of those matches you could have made like 4 minutes probably, but after that, Strowman clears out Judgment Day and Carlito. Then JD hits him in the back with a chair. Then he runs off. Excuse me. Next, Liv Morgan told about she didn't know Donna's going to interfere Saturday, but she's ready to beat Becky Lynch in the cage. Then Damian Priest is unhappy with Finn Balor and Carlito. Basically tell them to find JD before Strowman does. We get a recap of Breaker last week. So last week, Ricochet and Dragunov was having a conversation. Ricochet was basically giving Dragunov his props. He said, you beat me, but basically saying he wanted to get back. He wanted his rematch. Braun Breaker still mad about not being the King of the Ring. Basically spears Ricochet. Dragunov basically tells him, thank you for saving me last week. Ricochet said he wants to fight, so you get Ricochet versus Dragunov. Another QR code. Before that, H-Bomb, Ricochet hits the recoil, shooting star press connect on Dragunov, but then here comes Braun Breaker who just spears the shit out of Ricochet for the DQ win at 10 minutes.
Was he wearing his Speed Championship?
No, he wasn't. Dragunov gets speared as well, and Alan Pierce basically yells at Braun Breaker, then come back from break. He's still yelling at Braun Breaker, but he has some business attention with Kiana James. This part, love R-Truth. R-Truth is a wrestling national treasure. This man was running an ice cream truck. This is why he's running an ice cream truck. Him and Awesome Truth, because he said they're like vanilla and strawberry. I don't know. I'm looking like, I guess I don't know where it comes from, but anyway, knew they talk about kind of the tag team title. Karrion Kross comes up and Kofi mocks him. There's been a thing lately, so like Karrion Kross been walking up to both members of the New Day, Kofi and Xavier Woods. Basically saying, oh, the time. I think like he's trying to recruit them probably or something. Either break them up or try to recruit them. We get AOP versus the Creed brothers. This right here, man. Creed brothers been on a kind of a drop downhill spiral. Basically, Ivy now gets sent into the step by Scarlet, which causes distraction. AOP gets the win. Next, we get Rey Mysterio talks about Carlito being jealous about over Dragon Lee. You get a Memorial Day video. Sheamus comes out. How he King of the Ring said it was banger after banger. He was out for the first round. He basically said he's going to get his payback. Sheamus goes to the back. Kaiser jumps him from behind. Next, we get Kairi Sane versus Lyra Valkyria. My fault. Valkyria gets the win here at 3. I'm thinking of Laura Valkyria there. Tyra Valkyria is so hard because their names are spelled the same. Same. And Saint Elbow get blocked with boots. Valkyria gets the roll up at 3 minutes and 42 seconds. I had to catch myself again. Next, Damian Priest is still pissed about Carlito hanging around, but they basically tell him still find JD. Priest ain't happy with JD for talking to Liv Morgan. He's also pissed at Dominic Mysterio for he basically trying to avenge Rhea Ripley. So he basically trying to cost Liv Morgan at every chance he can, but it's not working.
He keep it invertedly
like
winning the match for her.
King of the Ring.
So now shit is in reverse. It's her playing her son of a man in revenge.
Now we get Rey Mysterio versus Carlito. Backstabber is blocked. 619 dropping the dime. Mysterio gets the win at 10 minutes. 10-minute match. Next we get Otis versus Bronson Reed. The Tsunami here. Reed gets the win at 3 minutes. The end of this match basically was Chad Gable was going crazy. Call him to the ring. He takes off his belt and tells Otis to grab the rope. Like he about to what's the name? But Maxine Dupree grabs his arm as he about to do it. Like no. Then he throws her out the ring. Out the ring. Sammy comes out here, calls him weak. Said you're a little weak man who can't get the job done. He goes to hit Otis again. Sammy takes the belt away. He basically trying to convince Otis like this ain't like you need to leave. Like this ain't working for you basically. Sami Zayn to Otis is Kevin Owens to Sami Zayn during the Bloodline basically. Mikhail kept trying to tell Sammy like, bruh, this ain't it. Now like Sammy like in that road. Now like, bruh, this ain't it. Next we get our main event, which is the women's title match, steel cage match between Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan. Get to the end here. Lynch get a superplex. Disarm get broken up. Morgan hits a cold breaker for 2. They both go up top. Morgan gets knocked down off the cage. She pulls Becky down. She misses the Oblivion. Lynch turns to a disarmer. They go into a corner and they crash down. Now this is where it hits right here. Here comes Dominic Mysterio. Now he's begging Becky Lynch to crawl out. Mind you that at King and Queen of the Ring, he slid Becky the chair, but Becky wasn't going to use it though. He tells her to come out here. Finn and JD comes and yells at him. Then here comes Braun, takes out everybody at Judgment Day. Now, as they're all running, he's running around and he hits Dominic Mysterio as Becky Lynch coming out. So he hits Dom, the cage hits Becky in the face. Then Liv basically climbs out, goes through the door, gets the win. Then at the end of the show, she stops and look at Dom, kisses him. Dom looked like he was cool with it, but at the same time, like, mommy gonna be mad. So, like, I don't know. Some of the reason they didn't air it, though, on TV, though, They didn't air it on TV. I don't know why they didn't air it on TV, but that's the end of Monday Night Raw. Just getting some in getting intriguing there. Now we go to NXT and talk about. All right, let's start this off. Ava introduces Sexy Red out to the ring. Booker seems to be a big fan for some weird reason. I don't know. But it's just Booker though, being Booker though. She comes into the ring. She does her little twerking thing that she usually be doing. She reveals the Women's North American title, which I'm gonna get. Triple H been doing good with these belts. This belt I don't like. I don't know if this was him or Shawn Michaels. It's basically just the North American title, but except the straps is white though.
The Women's North American?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's basically just the men's that except the straps is white though. Like the design of it was lazy. Like it wasn't no originality, you know, you get what I'm saying? Anyway, Tatum Paxley comes out here to try to take the belt away. Her and Red is having a tug of war with it. Out comes Michin comes out here. This leads to the first match between them. Each defeat, Michin gets to win at 9 minutes. 9 minutes here. Gallus ain't happy about Metaphor. No, Gallus ain't happy about Metaphor coming to ask why they jumped home Dar. It wasn't Dar. Last Legend insists that it wasn't Trick because she is infatuated with Trick Williams. We get Shayna Baszler versus Lola Vice being set up. NXT Underground being set up for Battleground. This. Y'all get your bastard once we get to Lola Vice's match. Roddy Osborne versus Ridge Holland. Ridge gets the win here at 11 minutes. Next, the OC talk about they're coming to win the tag team championship, and they're going to continue beat down until they get their shot because they took out Exxon and Nathan Frazier last week. Then we get the OC versus Idris Enofe and Malik Blake. Magic Killer gets the win. Now, when they usually do the Magic Killer, they both are like, when they do it, they both like drop to the ground, right? They did it different now. Some weird reason, Carl Anderson does his part standing up. So now it look like he like throwing them down on the ground, which I guess it looked more painful. Next we get Dante Chen, who beat Lexus King last week. Now you know where Dante Chen came from. NXT Level Up. So what's this saying about Lexus King? Roxanne Perez said she's here to find out who her challenger is. She's been training since 13, and she won the title for 9 years. She talked about how it represents greatness. Ava comes down and introduces her challenger, which is Jordan Grace. She said she's going to become a double champion at Battleground. Then we get Lola Vice versus Ariana Grace. This match ends at 2 minutes.
Wait. I'm sorry to interrupt you. We just spoke on this man a couple minutes ago, so I'm gonna show you something that is going to make you laugh.
Who?
No, I'm not gonna tell you. You'll see in a second. Now, it may throw you off from your read, so let me fair warn you. I'm assuming this picture is not doctored, because they're not fighting in America, so you know different time zones, meaning that this may be happening right now.
The fuck I say? What I say? Go away, bro. Go away. You don't take it serious no more. Go away. Look like a created character, bro. Really?
I cannot wait. To go home and confirm that. I'm sorry. Continue.
All right, so next we get Lola Vice versus Ariana Grace. This match ends at 2 minutes and 13 seconds. Now, this gets right here, post-match, after the match, she basically tells Shayna Baszler, because you remember she was in her corner, you know, during that first NXT Underground between her and Natalya. They had a tag match the week before. Shayna Baszler said, don't do all that dance and stuff. Just go out here, what's the name? They lose to Natalya and Karma Petrovic after that. Then she basically takes out Shayna Baszler after the match. So she basically said that her words were at NXT. He said underground at battleground. She said you either gonna get knocked out or tapped out, bitch, is what she said. And then I swear to God, Shayna Baszler, you hear the music. Here comes Shayna like a bat out of hell. Security got there super ass quick, quick, and they doing the pull apart thing. And you got Lola Vice on the ground like this, lying down, like laughing at her. Like I don't know, but it seems like they're trying to build Shayna Baszler back to be that badass. I hope. Next, we get a video on Carly Bright, who I guess was a former cheerleader for the Minnesota Golden Gophers. I think that their football team name.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's going to be coming to NXT. Then we get a brawl between Karma Petrovich and Izzy Dame. Dame in the locker room. We get Lexis King versus Dante Chen in a rematch. Can we play? Is it? You know what? No. I ain't gonna say it gets started, but we're gonna play it anyway. Dante Chen gets the win here. And guess how long this match was?
A minute 38.
A jackhammer by King. Chen gets a crucifix at a minute 43.
Oh, I was off for 5
This
seconds.
match was shorter than the one he had last week. King lays him out basically. After that, we get a qualifying match. Kehlani Jordan defeats Ren St. Clair. After that, we get our main event, which is Gallus versus Javon Evans and Trick Williams. Sexy Red is here with Trick and Williams. We get the whole Booker T whoop that Trick. What's the name? Oh yeah, like that's still funny to me. This kid is 19 years old. He had the best spot in this match. So he's in trouble. He gets slammed by Mark Coffey for a 2. I swear to God, this dude is about to get suplexed. He flips out the suplex, bounces off the rope, jumps off Gallus, off Mark Coffey, over Trick Williams to take dude out. Out. And then basically after that, you get a tug of war. Sexy Red again, basically Joe Clark tries to grab the NXT title. Sexy Red basically stops him from taking the title. Tug of war. Evans takes him out again. Trick shot at the end. Trick shot for the win. Then at the end of the match, Last Legend come out to ask if Trick Williams was the one who attacked their friends. Before he say anything, Ethan Page comes out, takes out Trick Williams. He said he took out Metaphor and holds up Trick's title to end the show. So that's the end of NXT. So
Hey, real quick sidebar, because I didn't mean to play that. But have you seen this stupid ass post on fucking Facebook where they changed the lyrics to Cody Rhodes' song, his theme song, to make it seem like he's a historical black champion?
oh God.
Do you want to hear it?
Oh Lord.
I'm gonna play the first couple minutes. And hold on, I gotta start it over.
There ain't no copyright infringement.
Hopefully not. I don't think so. Hold on, wait. I'm gonna mute both our shit so I can make sure I get it right. Hold on. All right, I'm gonna play y'all a little bit of it. Ready?
Has more than one black champion.
Why? People be bored. People have too much time on the internet. internet. That's all right.
Raheem Rose.
Raheem Rose, no.
That was stupid as fuck.
Up to your earlier post, that was fake. I apologize for my outbursts like that.
It was fake?
Yes, they didn't fight yet.
Oh, okay. I was to say, no, you had every right to respond like that because you predicted it. I just had to laugh at the shit. I was like, wow. Like, hell no. All right. Let's get back to some AEW Dynamite. For the last Wednesday of the month of May in 2024. Let's get into it. So the show starts off with Mercedes Moné making a championship celebration, complete with balloons. She's dancing in the ring, bragging about tearing the house down with Willow Nightingale. She wants Willow Nightingale to come back and be better than ever, but she told her that she was going to get screwed over by Statlander and Hathaway. Said they're months away from Forbidden Door. As she said this, I was hoping she was going to mention the name Stephanie Valcour, because I told you, one of my main things out of this, I want stardom wrestlers on this show against AEW women wrestlers too. Give them some more shine. Instead, it was Sky Blue on the Titantron and talking about how she was the one that attacked her a couple weeks ago during that interview segment that went to black. She woke up, she was on the floor. And she said she's ready to do it again. And sneaks up on her while she's in the ring from behind, watching the Titantron. Attacked her then. Tony Khan makes a match between them for the TBS Championship right then and there. She'll get that. Actually, before the start of the second hour. Show starts off match-wise officially after recapping Double or Nothing from the weekend. Swerve Strickland taking on Kill Switch. Coming out with Prince Nana. Kill Switch came out by himself. Surprisingly, this match goes 11 minutes. World Champion retains, has to hit 2 house calls to get the victory, and then proceeds to, I won't say scalp him, but he definitely cut off the ponytail of Kill Switch or some of his hair, to get revenge.
Get payback for his, yeah.
Yeah, for his. Moving on from there, John Moxley. John Moxley already announced it's going to be the match of Sky Blue and Monet. John Moxley is going to be taking on Rocky Romero. He cuts a promo on him. But basically talking about his upcoming schedule. I felt like this has to be a down, though, because in talking about the match with Rocky Romero, not that I ever gave Rocky a chance of beating him, but at least when they go into the match thinking he has a chance. But then when you tell me your upcoming weeks, I obviously know he's not going to fucking win, because you just said you got to defend the belt of Dominion coming up, and then you got another show after that you talked about, and then Bloodsport after that or some shit. Oh no, he said Dominion, and then Forbidden Door, and then Bloodsport. I'm like, okay, so you're not gonna lose it to this guy, obviously. Anyway,
Yeah, to explain all that, we kind of knew you wasn't gonna lose it to him either way.
you're right, exactly.
We knew that.
Next up was the John Moxley Rocky Romero match. Rocky got way more in this match than if Moxley wasn't a one-armed man. But he goes 10 minutes. Moxley ends up winning this one. They did a Death Rider to finish him off. He was almost choked out at one point, but Death Rider finished him off 10 minutes, 46 seconds. Next up, the Learning Tree come out and basically explain their actions, or I won't say they explain their actions. I'll say that Brian Keith was trying to explain
The
his
bad
actions.
apple.
It came out and set up. Can you remember how Jericho used to have a highlight show or whatever it was in WWE?
Highlight reel.
Highlight reel. He has the Learning Tree segment. It's called TV Time with the Learning Tree. So it has this big fake ass tree that was in the ring.
Fake ass real rainbow.
Yeah, basically. He has a screen, and Big Bill was the host. And then Jericho comes down, and then he has Brian Keith comes down, and he calls him the bad apple now because he hasn't fallen far from the learning tree. And asked him why he came in to help him. He basically comes in and says that he's tired of you not getting any respect. And then he starts shitting on Jericho again. You like to please retire shit. He said, see, that's what I'm talking about. He starts wilding out. Saying, no respect. Something like that, basically.
Yeah, Ronnie Dangerfield.
Yes. That's basically what happened. So then Hook acts like he's going to come out because he's pissed off about what happened in the match. But he gets stopped by Samoa Joe. He whispers something in his ear and they both walk off. So we'll see where this leads to.
So Joe face now?
I don't
Or he
know what's
just-
going on.
Might be setting him up. I don't know. I ain't seen Joe since the title match.
Next up, Don Callis is here, coming to offer a contract from Orange Cassidy. So he
I'm saying this part.
calls Orange down to the ring. Orange ripped up the contract up
The
very
longest
slowly.
rip ever.
You know?
The longest rip of a contract ever.
It is, hey Don, no. And he chalks him. But then all of a sudden, Chris Statlander and Stokely are here, and they said they have their best friend that wants to join the Don Callis family. Cue Trent Beretta, making the attack from behind on Orange, bloodying Orange up. And then it seems like Don Callis was about to pull him off, and he turns to Don Callis like he was going to attack him. And he just stays staring at him, and Don Callis is standing in the corner kind of shook on some Paul Heyman shit. Then all of a sudden, Trent extends the arms, and he does the hug with him.
Yeah.
So now we figured out who's joining the Don Callis family. Obviously, Trent. I do like the twist of how they did it there a little bit. So it made sense after that.
Orange has no friends.
Not at all. Moving on from there, Dan Garcia basically said he's coming after the international title. We'll see what happens with that. TBS title match next. Mercedes Moné taking on Sky Blue. The match goes 7 minutes and 42 seconds, but a good fluid match between the two. Good TV match for Mercedes Moné. She retains her title with the Moneymaker for the pin. And like I said, looked completely fine doing the Moneymaker on an opponent of the right side. From there, post-match, I did get what I want. Stephanie Valcourt, after they showed a preview video of her earlier in the show to let you know exactly who she is, because she's a champion of CMLL and a champion of New Japan Strong for their women's division, which are both the participants in New Japan and CMLL in Forbidden Door with AEW. So it only made sense. Now, I wondered if she would take on Toni Storm. That's not happening, which is good. I'd prefer for her to take on Mercedes Moné because I kind of want to see Toni Storm take on Mina Sarakad just because that was Mariah May's tag team partner. So to lead more to their friction. So hopefully that does happen also. So we'll see where that goes. But Stephanie Valcourt came out, gets a dream match basically. I mean, that's how Forbidden Door is. But still, that should be a very good match. If you're not hip to Stephanie Valcourt.
Don't worry, Conan's going to bitch about her losing because she's going to lose.
Check out Stephanie Valcourt. She's nice. Stokely Hathaway, Chris Statlander, did not like Willow Nightingale. Stat cut a great
I liked her promo.
Great
And it made sense
Explaining
too, though.
why she
Like,
did what she did.
Like, everybody always got to lean on me or that.
I
I'm the one
love
that
the
got
promo.
what's the name.
I love the promo,
I'm like,
and
that's
she
true.
didn't stumble.
She
She
did.
didn't stumble at all. She cut that shit straight from the heart, and it was cutting.
I like relatable promo. I'm like, that's true. I'm like, the whole thing when they went through their beef, you was the one that's in the middle that like tried to patch that up for a little while. You did have, and I'm like, man, Willow getting all these opportunities at the expense of Stat. And I'm like, yeah, great promo. I like promos like that. Actually, like.
Next up, the Elite are out to make some announcements and stuff. They all come down to the ring. The first thing
Okada's the MVP.
Okada, first thing Okada does, he gets to the mic, he's like, "Shut up, bitches!" to the crowd.
Like,
That's
random.
That's all he says. He just hands the mic off after that.
It was so random.
So after winning the match and explaining that, they said they had some gifts. So first, they give Okada a black Lambo, and they showed him the Titantron. They show it pull up, and it says Rainmaker on the license plate. And he's like, "Oh my God, guy, for real? You're my best friends. I can't believe it. No, sold that shit.
I love Okada, bro.
He's tripping.
Okada, bro, is awesome, bro.
So for Jack Perry, they had to announce that Adam Copeland in his match of retaining his title shattered his ankle completely, which means they stripped him of the TNT Championship.
Assholes.
Now,
They did it, though.
They were going.
No, hold on. This was a guy like, we're going to strip him. Like, by the way, though, best of luck, though. I'm like, Damn, that's fucking. Y'all some legit assholes, bro. But I like that though.
And then they were gonna give it to Jack
And
Perry,
then
like Uncle Eric giving Triple H the big gold belt on Raw back in the day.
Matthew's the asshole. It's not Nicholas. I'm thinking Nicholas is the one that dresses like the asshole, but Matt the one that does all the asshole
But
action.
Nicholas does asshole shit. A couple weeks ago, he got tossed off the stage, off the side of the stage through a table by somebody, and he had a little bit of scrape, right? But it was like slowly bleeding,
Yeah.
but he knew it was and played into it like, look at my back! Look at my back! Like this. And at first it wasn't bleeding, but then it came back like 2 minutes later and it was just like slightly bleeding. He was like, see? Like that. He's hilarious, bro.
I love him, bro.
Anyway, so they're going to proceed to give Jack Perry the TNT Championship. They're cut off by CD. Christopher Daniels. He comes out to the ring and says, I've been hired as an interim EVP by Tony Khan. So basically, I'm representing him when he's not here. And he says, whoa, CD, don't cross that line. He says, excuse me, you refer to me by my God-given name of Christopher.
Like, no.
He turned it back on him. So he came down the ring and said, we fight for championships around here. So if you want to title Jack Perry, you're going to have to earn it. And announced that you're going to be a bunch of matches leading up to Forbidden Door, well, where the winners will fight for the TNT Championship there. So that's basically the end of that segment. Moving on from there, Swerve Strickland said he's ready for his next challenger, which comes out of this Casino Battle Royal gauntlet match. I like the concept again. You get two it starts, they fight for a while, 5-minute countdown, you get the next down. Basically same thing as the Royal Rumble.
I just hope that.
But this one had all superstars in it.
I just hope that they don't overuse it. You know.
I'm hoping they don't overuse Ospreay.
Like,
I love him, but I think you're force feeding him a little much. Here's why. So,
I agree.
early break, he wins this match. Before I get into all the participants and everything, I'm not gonna go like move for everything, but it starts off with Jay White in the ring, is number one. Pac is number two. We already know they have beef.
Yeah.
Will they still have a one-on-one match after this? I don't know. This might be the closest we get to that. We'll see. They fought first. Then Mystical came in, so he represented CMLL. It seems like, other than the first two, one member of each company that's going to be involved for Forbidden Door came down. Mystical came down representing CMLL. Next came down was Will Ospreay at number 4. After that, they came down. It was Shooter Umino from New Japan. So that was New Japan representative. He comes down to the ring. Next up, Claudio comes down to the ring. So it's like AEW, other company. AEW, other company. AEW's how it would seem to be. Claudio came in. Claudio was number 6 when he got down to the ring. Next one to the ring from there was Leo Rush. So that's another one from New Japan there. He came in looking great.
That one was shocking to me.
I was watching this match with Jay Bird. I don't know if he's ever seen a Claudio match, but he was having the kick of his life as Claudio proceeded to spin every single member of this match and then just toss him to the side. He was fucking loving that shit. It was hilarious. So, shout out to Jay Bird. So, Leo Rush is in. He's number 7. From there, Orange Cassidy, music hits. He comes in. He ends up being number 8. He comes in. Then at number 9, you had Hechicero from a couple months ago with CMLL. Came in there looking great himself. Then after all of that, we get down to the bulk of the match. I forgot who numbered. Oh, Roger Strong was supposed to be number 10, which we find that out on Rampage later when he got a promo about it, but he doesn't make it because the result of the match is before he even gets entered into it. So the match is broken up. Hechicero, as I said, he comes down.
That sucks.
He cleans house again. Mystico's back up with some head scissors. He takes Claudio Castagnoli to the floor, send up a big hurricanrana out there on the floor. Jay White and Pac are back in. Ospreay breaks that up, hits a hit, breaks up the Blade Runner. Kathy hits a hurricanrana on Ospreay for 2, but he gets caught into an Os Cutter for the victory for Ospreay in 22 minutes and 15 seconds. Now, Ospreay just won the international title on Sunday. I left you a text when they first made that announcement about the Owen, and I thought that's what the booking would have been, is him winning the Owen to get the title shot at All In. putting it here at Forbidden Door.
Ospreay's gonna win it.
I know.
And this what sucks too because
It sucks for Swerve. How do you put around
I'm
that?
gonna say because like, and Tony Khan don't change his title. If I'm not mistaken, everybody that had run, they home for like at least like 2, 3, 4 pay-per-views before they lose it. Swerve what? Won't even get to one?
Maybe there could be interference for a reason why he holds it though. Like like interference would cost him, or he retains it, and interference costs Ospreay, which pushes the next shot out.
It gotta be that way.
Maybe that'll persist.
You know what? Maybe the Don Callis family turns on him finally.
Something. I don't know. But as of right now, your main event for Forbidden Door is going to be Ospreay versus Swerve Strickland, which would be a great match. But
too early.
I feel like it's too early.
I agree with you. It should have been an Owen Cup for him to get.
I wanted a little bit more of a run for Swerve, and I wanted Ospreay just spread it out a little bit. But I mean, I'm not mad at the result. It's still going to be a great match.
Yeah, because now Ospreay got to go over. You don't have the whole crowd turn if Ospreay don't go over. Go over.
And at the end of the show,
it sucks with Swerve.
Strickland and Ospreay stare each other down 1-on-1 from there. So we'll see what happens. And that was done.
It sucks with Swerve, man. Like, but yeah, no, I agree. I felt the Owen Cup would have been the perfect way to do it. But again, hometown show. You can hardly say he's your biggest star. Well, not your biggest star, but you make that people can make the argument that Ospreay's your biggest star right now at the moment. But it sucks to Swerve at the end, no. This match is going to make me hate Will Ospreay, and it's hard for me to hate Will Ospreay. Ospreay. SmackDown. We start off with the Queen of the Ring. Out comes Nia Jax. She basically brags about her win. She demands Bayley come out here to the ring. Bayley comes out, but she gets jumped by Piper Niven and Chelsea Green. Green basically tell her to be ready to face Piper at SummerSlam. AJ Styles said he has he needs to see Nick Aldis about something. Naomi checks on Bayley. First match, Tommaso Ciampa versus Austin Theory. A-Town down. So A-Town down gets blocked. For some reason, Grayson Waller yells at commentary, and that leads to a distraction. Ciampa gets the roll up. Basically, this is going to be DIY challenging for the titles, probably. Next, Naomi comes in to see Nick Aldis, and she gets into an argument with Blair Davenport. Davenport gets a tag match with Bayley against Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. LA Knight comes to ask where can he find Logan Paul. LA Knight says, oh, my fault. LA Knight, yeah.
Puma Asics, yeah.
Said Logan Paul ain't here, but Knight is. He want to make it clear he want that U.S. title. Melo Hayes comes out here and said that he's a better candidate for the title shot. We get Andrade versus Apollo Crews. Legado del Fantasma tried to invite Andrade. Andrade shut that shit down, said no. No, and he gets the win at 7 minutes. Next, Solo tells the Bloodline to deal with something when Paul Heyman come in. He said he's trying to make things better. He said they think Cody Rhodes needs to check for when Roman Reigns comes back. Basically, they're basically bullying Paul Heyman at this point. Basically, what this segment is. KO comes to the ring. Solo tells Heyman to go deal with that. Next, Apollo Crews for some reason jumps Angel Garcia. What's the name? I don't know. Getting Apollo Crews on TV, I guess. Anyway, Kevin Owens said he was in a ring and he said he was in Saudi Arabia to help Randy Orton. Orton had his back for weeks. Heyman basically come out here trying to have a mutual understanding with Owens. Fans want Roman, but Heyman say no one wants Roman here more than himself. He talked about how Reigns respect him, but Solo and the Bloodline members are going to hurt him. He basically begging Owens to back off. This one got me. Owens said, in 4 years of fighting the Bloodline, I've been super kicked 30 times at once. I've been thrown on high things, but I'm never going to stop getting rid of them. I'm always going to fight them. The fact that now that you got super kicked 30 times and back, the two people that super kicked ain't even there. One hurt, one on another show. Anyway, Paul Heyman getting mad, talking about why ain't nobody listening to him. This set up a match between the Bloodline. Well, the Bloodline come out, but the Street Profits come out because they're set to face the Bloodline tonight. Paul Heyman's still going batshit crazy. Basically screaming he need Roman back. Next we get a match, jump into the match with the Bloodline and the Street Profits. Tama Tonga and Tama Loa. You know who won this match.
And did they keep those names?
Yes.
That's cool.
You know who won this match.
G.O.D.?
Yeah, they did.
Are they called G.O.D. or are they just Bloodline?
They don't call him G.O.D.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's like a trademark thing. I don't know.
Okay.
But they still got their names though. So like.
Okay.
Andy Hart was upset at Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair for injuring Candice LeRae, but she won't face Jade Cargill though. Chelsea Green, Piper Niven, Bayley Naomi.
Hey, sidebar real quick. When you got a couple minutes left on the show.
Yeah.
There was something that happened recently with Dexter Lumis getting kicked out of a show. Did you hear about this?
I don't think you mean Brooke Jensen. It wasn't Dexter Lumis.
You sure it wasn't Dexter Lumis?
It was a thing with Brooke Jensen. It's part of a storyline they doing with NXT.
Okay, never mind. I swear I saw something that said it was Dexter Lumis.
I think it was Brooke Jensen because he got like he was showing up to shows. They basically said like he got fired. But
The security had dragged him off?
Yeah. Basically.
Okay, all right. I'm with you. Go ahead. Sorry, continue. I don't know why someone said it was Dexter Lumis. Go ahead.
Running drop kick into the basement. Rearview gets a 2. Nevin makes a save. Nevin basically puts Green on top for the win. So Nevin gets the win here over Bayley, making her look strong, setting up a show because she's also from Scotland, so she's probably going to get her title shot at Bayley there, you know. Naomi took the fall in this match, which sucked. Sucked. LA Knight run to AJ Styles and asked him, are the rumors are true? He said, I respect you. Styles run to Cody. They shake hands. He hugs the OC, who said they're going to have his back. OC comes out here with AJ Styles. He talked about he had how he had dwelled on Nick Aldis, saying that he had another title shot, but at this point in his career, he can't do this no more. He said he just got to go to his son's graduation party, and it made him how much he'd been missed. He said maybe it's time to be a phenomenal father. He thanks OC for being there. They do the pose one more time. He said he wants Cody to come out here. Styles said that their match at Backlash was one of the best ever. He said it's still the house that AJ Styles built. Rose said they shared their first text after that match. He called him little bro. They have a hug. Rose hold up Styles on for Styles to do his old Mark Henry impersonation. I like Mark Henry, John Cena, and beat the holy shit out of Cody Rhodes. Even Mark Henry was like, well done. Like, well done. Gave him his what's the name? Name of applause. Style clash from the steps onto the floor to end the show. So that's the end of Neck down. As soon as he had the white felt like you're doing them, I had to feel like just the Mark Henry thing. But it was classic though. Mark Henry like, I'm gonna retire. He just beat the shit. Hey, it worked for Mark Henry. Got him a title run. Not gonna work for AJ though.
Him in that pink shirt, man.
Oh, that salmon shirt.
Yeah.
That shit became a meme.
All right. Let's finish the show so we can get out.
Yes,
of here,
I'm done with
man.
my shows for the night.
TNT title match. We're gonna talk AEW Rampage from last night, and we're gonna get out of here. Open with the TNT title qualifying match. Konosuke Tatesuka taking on Pentagon Ezra Mato. Only major gripe for this show because it wasn't a bad Rampage. It was
Tatesuka lost again.
No, he won, but it was the order of the show. The opener I felt like was good, but
Should have been a main event.
You had a Tony Storm match. That should have been your main event. And it wasn't a squash Tony Storm match. It went almost 9 minutes. That should have been your main event. I don't like the match that they put in the main event, but we'll get there. They could have swapped spots with that. Oh, and we get to play guess how long this match goes game twice. We'll do that.
Well,
Yeah.
we always play that on Rampage. We always good thing. We always get it on Rampage. We ain't been getting on NXTs lately.
All right, so this is a great hard-hitting match with Konosuke Tatesuka getting a little bit of his shine back, defeating Penta here. Match that went 13 minutes and 9 seconds.
Was that Penta or Ray Phoenix? Somebody had like a badass match.
They both had solo matches on the show. Ray
So
Phoenix.
was Ray. Ray had the black,
was in
had
the
the
main
black,
event.
and, had the black and yellow
With the
back.
gold.
That match was hard, bro.
Yeah, it was. They were. He was in the main event, but that shouldn't have been the main event. That should have been.
I knew one of them.
That match and Tony Storm's match to the swap spots.
Yeah, I just know one of them had that badass
And
match.
this is the first time
man.
I think I've ever seen them both have solo matches on the same show. So that was
I
interesting.
gotta get that match. That match was hard.
Maybe they'll have it in Mexico this year.
I'm not going back in town again. No.
You said you ain't going back
No,
to
no. After all that bullshit and then the rain, no. I will order it off off AEW or something. I would. But anyway, no, sorry about that. Though. But that was a fire match. Though that match was hard though, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I just hate too because it was Steelers colors. That's another reason I kind of don't want to get it, but still though.
I might go in town. I'll pick it up for you. We'll see how what we feel when we get to that point. But anyway, moving on from there. So Kanoki Teskin moves on. He's qualified for the TNT match. Moving on. Oh, sorry. There we go. Moving on from there. Chris Jericho, who's usually on commentary on Rampage, well, I guess he will no longer be on commentary on Rampage, at least for the time being, because last week he got jumped by Hook, who was dressed in all black over the barricade. He was like in the crowd, jumping from there. So he says since he didn't trust that or feel he didn't feel right about his safety being on commentary, he's gonna not do that anymore. So he's been replaced by Daddy Magic. Undisputed Kingdom are pissed off about losing Roddy losing his title and them getting kicked out of the match. And Will Ospreay having it. Roddy's pissed off, said he wants Leo Rush on Collision, so he's gonna beat his ass, and he's going after Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay. Next match, guess the length of this match. The only down, here's another down of the show, and wait till you hear the down. We got his crew. We got no Wild Slapnuts in the building. Dun line.
Well, you sound so dejected.
Cause we didn't get him. We got fucking Satnam, and we got fucking Sanjay, but we didn't get them.
So I can't even do my
That's why I did it.
JARRE to double T Jeff Jerry.
That's why I did it with the same amount of energy. You just did it right there.
God damn
That's
it.
exactly why. They wasn't even there.
I don't get slapped up moments no more.
He was on the pre-show of Double or Nothing, but he was just talking though. He wasn't on the show. Satnam Singh versus Pretty Peter Avalon. Guess the length of this match.
Who was it again?
Satnam Singh versus Pretty Peter Avalon.
Oh my God, he's still in AEW?
Yeah, he's a really jumpy original.
Oh my God. Let's see.
Been about three or four gimmick changes too by now.
I'm gonna say 32 seconds.
No. 1 minute and 5 seconds.
Oh, they gave him that much time?
Look, this is what happened. This is literally all that happened. Somehow he like punched him to the ground or like slapped him to the ground, and when he was down there, he gave him a bunch of short like choke slams to the ground like that. Picked him up, gave him the big choke slam, and then pinned him. That was literally all that fucking happened.
So it could have been 30 seconds. He just bullshit around.
Yeah, it honestly could have been. They had the Cage of Agony talk about losing once again. And that's how I equate. They didn't say that, but they once again lost. And then drag Hechicero into their altar of losing right now. So I'm like, that's great. I didn't enjoy that. Toni Storm versus Viva Van. Toni Storm offering her star power to this one. Still throwing shade at Luther here, but showing plenty of love to Mariah May. Eventually she wins this one. This girl got a lot more in than I thought she didn't have to. Toni Storm gave her a lot, I'll say. Toni Storm wins this one. It went almost 3 seconds short of 9 minutes. Wins with the Storm 0. Finish her off. Easy one. Next, return of guess the length of that match. Kyle O'Reilly versus Jordan Cruz.
A minute 23.
Oh. You're off by 6 seconds. Minute 17.
Oh.
Kyle
Wait, what? Wait, Saddam Singh's match was long. No, okay. Well, that just threw the whole perspective for it off. Now I gotta change my thinking when now we okay.
Johnny TV was here with Ty Valkyrie challenging Claudio Castagnoli to a match on Collision. Then we get our main event, Ray Phoenix versus Isaiah Cassidy. Now, do you see why I said that shouldn't have been the main event?
Yeah.
They should have swapped spots with that match with Toni Storm. Ray Phoenix looked great here. First singles match since he's returned to AEW. There was one hell of a Canadian destroyer that basically went from like Isaiah Cassidy was laying on the ground and like Ray Phoenix was gonna do like the barrel roll with him and somehow got himself caught to a super Canadian destroyer, and it was just crazy how they did it. It was awesome. Best spot of the match for me. Eventually though, Cassidy got a 2 count, Mr. Swanton. Phoenix Frog Splash gets a 2 count. Then he had a double underhook brain buster to finish off Cassidy, 11 minutes and 19 seconds. And that is the end of Rampage. And that is the end of this week in professional wrestling here on Hot Tag Wrestle Corner.
Yeah. No breaking news, unfortunately, report. It was a slow news week.
Yeah, it was a regular news week this week. So, you know, as we do every time we're here in the show, we're going to get out of here. With Mr. Ron Simmons taking us home. So, for Clino, I'm Rob.
I'm Clint.
And this has been Hot Tag Wrestle Corner.
Blue chip shit. Noti with the ring. Yo. Queen shit.